Caitlin Clark is not just a basketball player, she's a history maker. From her early days playing in Iowa to breaking big records in college, she has become one of the most talked about names in sports. In this video, we'll take you through her story, how she started, what makes her special, and why the whole world is watching her. Regarded as one of the greatest female collegiate players, Clark was twice named National Female College Basketball Player of the Year while playing for the Iowa Hawkeyes. She remains the NCAA Division I all-time leading scorer. She has helped popularize women's basketball, a phenomenon dubbed the Caitlin Clark effect. Her early life. Clark attended Dowling Catholic High School in her hometown of West Des Moines, Iowa, where she was named a McDonald's All-American and rated the fourth best player in her class by ESPN. In her freshman season with Iowa, she led the NCAA Division I in scoring and earned All-American honors. As a sophomore, Clark was a unanimous first-team All-American and became the first women's player to lead Division I in points and assists in a single season. In her junior season, she was the National Player of the Year and led Iowa to its first national championship game, again leading Division I in assists and setting Big Ten single-season marks in points and assists. As a senior, she repeated as National Player of the Year and helped Iowa return to the national title game. She also set the Division I women's career and single-season record in points and three-pointers, broke the conference record in assists, and led the nation in points and assists. At the youth international level, Clark won 3 gold medals with the United States, including 2 at the FIBA Under-19 Women's World Cup, where she was named Most Valuable Player in 2021. Clark was selected first overall by the Indiana Fever in the 2024 WNBA Draft. In her first season, she won the WNBA Rookie of the Year award and made the All-WNBA First Team and WNBA All-Star Game. She set league single-season and single-game records in assists, broke the rookie scoring record, and became the first rookie to achieve a triple-double. Caitlin Elizabeth Clark was born on January 22, 2002, in Des Moines, Iowa, to Brent Clark, a vice president at a product company, and Ann Clark Ninazi. Ann's father was the football coach and a school administrator at Dowling Catholic High School in West Des Moines. Caitlin grew up in the city. She began playing basketball at age 5 and competed in boys' recreational leagues, because her father could not find a girls' league for her age group. Clark also played softball, volleyball, soccer, tennis, and golf as a child before focusing on basketball. At age 13, she began playing several years ahead of her age group in girls' leagues. In 6th grade, she joined All Iowa Attack, an amateur athletic union AAU basketball program based in Ames, Iowa, and played for teams in the program until graduating from high school. She was coached by Dixon Jensen with Attack, and her AAU teammates included future Women's National Basketball Association 1BA player Ashley Jones. Clark drew inspiration from Maya Moore of the Minnesota Lynx, the closest 1BA team to her hometown, and often attended their games with her father. She admired All Iowa Attack alumnus Harrison Barnes and became a fan of the North Carolina Tar Heels after Barnes joined the program. When we talk about her high school career, Clark played 4 years of varsity basketball for Dowling Catholic High School in West Des Moines under head coach Kristen Meyer. As a freshman, she averaged 15.3 points, 4.7 assists, and 2.3 steals per game. She earned Class 5A, All-State third-team accolades from the Iowa Newspaper Association, and All-Iowa honorable mention from the Des Moines Register. Clark led her team to a 19-5 record in the Class 5A state tournament, where they lost to eventual champions Valley High School in the first round. In her sophomore season, she averaged 27.1 points, 6.5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2.3 steals per game, ranking second in the state in scoring. Clark was named first-team Class 5A All-State by the Iowa Print Sports Writers Association, IPSWA, and Central Iowa Metro League. Player of the Year by the Des Moines Register. She helped Dowling reach the Class 5A state quarterfinals and achieve a 20-4 record. After being the penultimate cut from the 12-player Team USA roster for the Under-17 FIBA, a World Cup in the summer of 2018, Clark used this as motivation and began developing her pull-up jump shot as well as her deep step back. That same summer, she led the All-Iowa Attack to win the Nike Elite Youth Basketball League Championship, scoring 23 points in a 64-61 victory over the Cal Storm in the final. On February 4, 2019, during her junior season, Clark scored 60 points in a 90-78 win against Mason City High School. Her 60-point game was the second highest single-game point total in Iowa 5-on-5 girls basketball history, surpassed only by Abby Rowe in 1996. She also set the state single-game record with 13 three-pointers. On February 25, Clark set the Class 5A state tournament single-game scoring record with 42 points in a 75-70 triple overtime win over Waukee High School in the quarterfinals. She helped Dowling reach the semifinals of the tournament and finish with a 17-8 record. As a junior, Clark led the state in scoring and averaged 32.6 points, 6.8 rebounds, 3.6 assists, and 2.3 steals per game. She was named Iowa Gatorade Player of the Year and repeated as a Class 5A All-State First-Team selection by the IPSWA. As a senior, Clark averaged 33.4 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2.7 steals per game, leading the state in scoring for a second time. Her team finished with a 19-4 record and reached the Class 5A Regional Final, where they were upset by Sioux City East High School. Clark finished her career with the fourth most points, 20,547, and the sixth most three-pointers, 283, in Iowa 5-on-5 history. She was awarded Iowa Gatorade Player of the Year, Des Moines Register All-Iowa Athlete of the Year, and Iowa Miss Basketball, while making the IPSWA Class 5A All-State First Team. Clark was selected to compete in the McDonald's All-American Game and the Jordan Brand Classic, two prestigious high school all-star games, but both games were canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In her first 2 years at Dowling, Clark was a starter on the school's varsity soccer team but focused on basketball for her final 2 years. In her freshman season, she scored 23 goals and was named to the Class 3A Iowa team by the Des Moines Register. Clark was recruited by NCAA Division I basketball programs before starting high school, receiving her first letter of interest from Missouri State before 7th grade. By her sophomore season at Dowling Catholic, she was ranked the #1 player in the 2020 high school class by ESPN. At the end of her high school career, she was considered a 5-star recruit and the 4th best player in her class by ESPN. Her family wanted her to choose Notre Dame, and she made a verbal commitment to the school's then head coach, Muffet McGraw. However, Clark never signed a national letter of intent with the school and soon reconsidered, announcing on November 12, 2019, that she would commit to play college basketball for Iowa over offers from Iowa State and Notre Dame. Clark was drawn to the team's up-tempo style of offense and head coach Lisa Bluter's development of point guards. She also expected to immediately have a key role on the team with the departure of Kathleen Doyle, the reigning Big Ten Player of the Year. Clark college career from 2020 to 21 freshman season. Clark entered her freshman season as Iowa's starting point guard. She assumed a leading role alongside starting center Monica Tinano. The duo was nicknamed the Law Firm by analyst Christy Winters Scott. On November 25, 2020, she made her collegiate debut, recording 27 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists in a 96-81 win over Northern Iowa. In her second game on December 2nd, she posted her first double-double with 30 points and 13 assists in a 103-97 victory over Drake. On December 22nd, in a 92-65 victory over Western Illinois, she registered the first triple-double by an Iowa player since Samantha Logic did so in 2015. Despite shooting 3 of 15 from the field, Clark had 13 points, 13 rebounds, and 10 assists during the game. On January 6, 2021, she recorded 37 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists in a 92-79 win against Minnesota. Clark posted a season-high 39 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists in an 88-81 win over Nebraska on February 11th, breaking the single-game scoring record for Pinnacle Bank Arena, the home venue of Nebraska. On February 28th, she scored 18 points and had a season-high 14 assists in an 84-70 win over Wisconsin. At the end of the regular season, Clark was a unanimous Big Ten Freshman of the Year and first-team All-Big Ten selection. She was a 13-time Big Ten Freshman of the Week, setting a conference record and led the Big Ten with 5 Player of the Week awards. Clark helped Iowa achieve a runner-up finish at the Big Ten tournament, where she was named to the all-tournament team and recorded 37 assists, the most in the event's history. In the second round of the NCAA tournament, she posted 35 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists in an 86-72 win over Kentucky. She broke program single-game records for points and three-pointers 6th in the tournament. Iowa reached the Sweet 16, where Clark scored 21 points in a 92-72 loss to first-seeded UConn, 61. She was named a first-team All-American by the United States Basketball Writers Association, USBWA, a second-team All-American by the Associated Press, AP, and made the Women's Basketball Coaches Association WBCA Coaches All-America Team. Clark became the first freshman to win the Dawn Staley Award, which honors the best Division I guard. She shared 2 major Division I Freshman of the Year awards with Paige Buchers of UConn, the Tamika Catchings Award, presented by the USVYA, and the WBCA Freshman of the Year Award. As a freshman, Clark averaged 26.6 points, 7.1 assists, and 5.9 rebounds per game. She led the NCAA Division I in scoring and ranked second in assists and three-pointers per game. Her totals in points, assists, field goals, and three-pointers also led Division I. She set program freshman records for points and assists and had the 4th highest scoring average in Iowa history. Clark during her 46-point game against Michigan in 2022. On November 9, 2021, Clark made her sophomore season debut, recording 26 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists in a 93-50 win over New Hampshire. On January 2, 2022, she posted 44 points and 8 assists in a 93-56 win over Evansville. Clark broke the Carver Hawkeye Arena women's single-game scoring record and surpassed Kelsey Mitchell of Ohio State as the fastest Big Ten player to reach 1,000 career points. On January 16, 2022, she recorded her fourth career triple-double with 31 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists in a 93-83 victory over Nebraska. In her next game 4 days later, Clark posted 35 points, 13 rebounds, and 11 assists in a 105-49 win over Minnesota. She became the first Division I men's or women's player to record consecutive triple-doubles with at least 30 points and the first women's player in Big Ten history with consecutive triple-doubles. On January 25th, Clark had 18 assists and 2 which set program and tied conference single-game records, in addition to 20 points and 7 rebounds in a 107-79 win against Penn State. On January 31st, she recorded 43 points, 7 assists, and 4 rebounds in a 92-88 loss to Ohio State. On February 6th, Clark scored a season-high 46 points, including 25 in the fourth quarter, and had 10 assists in a 98-90 loss to Michigan. She set the women's single-game scoring record for Crisler Center, the home arena of Michigan. After leading Iowa to a share of the Big Ten regular season title, she was unanimously named Big Ten Player of the Year and First Team All-Big Ten by the league's coaches and media. On March 5, 2022, in the semifinals of the Big Ten tournament, Clark recorded 41 points and 9 rebounds in an 83-66 win over Nebraska. 82. She led Iowa to the title and was named the tournament's most outstanding player mop. Her team was upset by 10th-seeded Creighton in the second round of the NCAA tournament, where Clark was held to a season-low 15 points and 11 assists, shooting 4 of 19 from the field in a 64-62 loss. She was a unanimous first-team All-American. She earned first-team All-American honors from the AP and the USBWA, and was a WBCA Coaches All-America team selection for her sophomore year. She was named a first-team Division I Academic All-American by the College Sports Information Directors of America, since renamed College Sports Communicators, CSC. Clark became the first back-to-back recipient of the Dawn Staley Award and won the Nancy Lieberman Award as the top Division I point guard. As a sophomore, she averaged 27 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists per game. Clark was the first women's player to lead Division I in points and assists per game in a single season. She also led Division I in total points, free throws, and triple-doubles. Entering her junior season, Clark was a unanimous selection for the PAP preseason All-America team and was named Big Ten Preseason Player of the Year by the league's coaches and media. On November 18, 2022, she suffered an ankle injury with 3.8 seconds left in an 84-83 loss to Kansas State, where she recorded 27 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists. She played in Iowa's next game against Belmont on November 20th, scoring 33 points in a 73-62 victory. On December 1st, she scored a season-high 45 points in a 94-81 loss to NC State. 3 days later, Clark posted her 7th career triple-double, with 22 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists in a 102-71 win over Wisconsin. She surpassed Samantha Logic as the Big Ten career leader in triple-doubles. On December 21st, in her 75th game, Clark tied Elena Del Dunn of Delaware as the fastest Division I women's player to reach 2,000 career points since the 1999-2000 season, scoring 20 points in a 92-54 win over Dartmouth. On January 23, 2023, Clark recorded 28 points, 15 assists, and 10 rebounds in an 83-72 win over AP No. to Ohio State, who were previously unbeaten. On February 2nd, she had 42 points, 8 assists, and 7 rebounds in a 96-82 victory over Maryland. On February 26th, Clark recorded 34 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists, making a game-winning three-pointer at the buzzer in an 86-85 win against a P.No. Indiana. At the end of the regular season, she repeated as Big Ten Player of the Year in a unanimous vote and was named First Team All-Big Ten by the league's coaches and media. 2023-24 Senior Season. Clark on the sidelines at crossover at Kinnick with Gabby Marshall in 2023. Entering her senior season, Clark was named Preseason Big Ten Player of the Year and earned unanimous AP Preseason All-American honors. On October 15, 2023, she played in crossover at Kinnick, a preseason exhibition game against DePaul at Kinnick Stadium, and had a triple-double of 34 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists in a 94-72 win. The game had an attendance of 55,646, which set the women's basketball record. In her second regular season game on November 9th, Clark posted 44 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists in an 80-76 win over 8 P.No. 8 Virginia Tech. In Iowa's third game, a 94-53 blowout of Northern Iowa on November 12th. Clark recorded her 12th career triple-double with 24 points, 11 assists, and 10 rebounds. She became Iowa's all-time leading scorer, passing Megan Gustafson, and became only the second player in Division I history with a triple-double in 4 different seasons, joining Ionescu. 1 week later, she recorded 35 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds, and 7 steals in a 113-90 win over Drake, passing Kelsey Plumoff Washington for the most 30-point games in Women's Division I history. When we'll talk about Clack impact. Clark signing autographs after a game in 2024. Widely considered a generational talent, Clark is described as one of the greatest women's college basketball players of all time by many publications, in part due to her unprecedented shooting range and proficiency among female players. She has been labeled a transformative player in women's basketball. Her impact on the women's game is likened to that of Stephen Curry on the men's game. USA Today stated that she, like Curry, has redefined what a good shot is in basketball. The Wall Street Journal columnist Jason Gay wrote in 2024, "Clark is far from the first great shooter in women's basketball, but she's the one who is changing the dimensionality of the game. Because of the distance she can shoot from and how well she can pass, Clark is credited with popularizing women's basketball since her college career at Iowa, a phenomenon known as the Caitlin Clark effect." In her senior season, publications attributed a rise in attendance and television viewership for the sport to Clark. As a junior, she helped the 2023 National Championship game become the most viewed women's college basketball game in history, 9.9 million. Before her senior season, her team set the women's basketball attendance record 55,646 in a preseason exhibition game. The Iowa women's basketball program sold out its 2023-24 ticket slate and generated $3.26 million in ticket sale revenue, the most in history by a women's college basketball team. At the 2024 NCAA tournament, Clark's final 3 games each broke the women's college basketball viewership record, culminating with 18.9 million viewers for the national championship game. It was the most viewed basketball game at any level since 2019 and the first women's NCAA tournament final to draw more viewers than the men's final. In her first LGNV season with the Indiana Fever, she continued to drive historic attendance and viewership. the Fever set a franchise single-season attendance record, and their regular season finale set the league attendance record 20,711. As Clark drew a larger audience to the WNBA, some players accused members of her fan base of racist, sexist, and homophobic abuse, particularly on social media. Clark has denounced the harassment of players, calling those members of her fan base trolls and not genuine fans. Clark off the court, her personal life. Clark's father, Brent Clark, is a sales executive at Concentric International and played basketball and baseball at Simpson College. Her mother, Ann Nizzy Clark, who is of Italian descent, is a former marketing executive and the daughter of former Dowling Catholic High School football coach Bob Nizzy. Clark has an older brother, Blake, who played college football for Iowa State, and a younger brother, Colin. Her cousin, Audrey Faber, played college basketball for Creighton. Two of Clark's uncles are former college athletes. Tom Faber played basketball for Drake and Utica, and Mike Nizzy played football for Nebraska Omaha. She has been in a relationship with Connor McCaffrey, who played basketball and baseball at Iowa and is the son of former Hawkeyes men's basketball head coach Fran McCaffrey. Clark was raised in the Catholic Church and is a parishioner at St. Francis of Assisi Catholic Church in Des Moines. Clark majored in marketing at the University of Iowa, graduating in May 2024. Clark is an avid golfer, having played the sport since childhood. She played in the 2023 John Deere Classic Rome alongside professional golfers Zach Johnson and Ludvig Berg. In 2024, she played in the Annika with Nelly Korda and Annika Skrenstam, and in the RSM Classic with Zach Johnson. She has been a lifelong fan of the Chicago Cubs and has thrown out the first pitch for both the team and its triple affiliate, the Iowa Cubs. She also supports the Kansas City Chiefs and appeared on the Manning cast for a Monday Night Football game featuring the Chiefs in 2023, becoming the first college athlete to appear on the broadcast. Endorsements and investments. Clark with Jake from State Farm, Kevin Miles in a promotion for State Farm in 2023. Clark is represented by Excel Sports Management, signing with the agency in 2023. She was estimated to be one of the highest-earning college athletes from name, image, and likeness nil deals by the end of her Iowa career. College sports website On3 estimated her NIL valuation to be $3.4 million, the highest among women's college basketball players and the fourth highest among college athletes. Companies that signed Clark to nil deals included Nike, Gatorade, Hy-Vee, Bose Buick, Goldman Sachs, H&R Block, Shootaway, and Topps. In 2023, she became the first college athlete to be a spokesperson for State Farm, appearing in national television commercials for the company. In the following year, Hy-Vee released a limited edition cereal called Caitlin's Crunch Time in select stores in Iowa. In April 2025, Hy-Vee released a limited edition Cool Blue Gatorade bottle featuring Clark, sold exclusively at Hy-Vee. In March 2024, Clark became the first female athlete to have an exclusive partnership with Panini, signing a multi-year contract with the trading card company. In the same month, she signed a multi-year sponsorship with Gainbridge, an Indianapolis-based financial platform, joining Billie Jean King and Annika Skrenstam as brand ambassadors. Upon graduating, Clark continued sponsorship deals with Gatorade and Hy-Vee. In May 2024, she signed a multi-year deal with Wilson Sporting Goods and became the first athlete to release signature Wilson basketball collections since Michael Jordan. In August 2025, Clark became the first female athlete to form a multi-year partnership with Stanley. After she was drafted in April 2024, The Wall Street Journal and The Athletic reported a pending 8-year, $28 million contract between Clark and Nike, which would include a signature shoe deal and would be the largest sponsorship deal ever for a women's basketball player. During the 2024 WNBA playoffs, Clark debuted the Nike Kobe 5 Protro Indiana Fever shoes, designed to match her Fever jerseys. 6 months later, Nike announced that this player-exclusive PE, called Caitlin Clark Kobe 5 Indiana Fever, would be available for purchase in June 2025 in a limited drop. Her Indiana Fever Pez sold out immediately upon release on June 30th. In June 2025, Clark debuted another PE with Nike, a Kobe 6 Protro called the Bellas in honor of Clark's family dog. The following month, Clark broke out another Kobe 6 Protro PE, Cookie Monster, a nod to the Mapachuractor of the same name. On August 25, 2025, Nike introduced Clark as their newest signature athlete and revealed her signature logo. Her logo apparel collection is to drop in fall 2025 and her signature in shoe and apparel collection in 2026. In November 2024, it was announced that Clark had joined the ownership group intending to bring an expansion National Women's Soccer League team to Cincinnati. Clark made a cameo appearance on Saturday Night Live, April 2024, as part of a skit during the Weekend Update segment. She criticized co-anchor Michael Che's past jokes about women's basketball and wrote new jokes for him to read aloud. Clark served as an executive producer on the ESPN Plus docuseries Full Court Press, which premiered in May 2024. The series followed 3 women's college basketball players, including Clark herself, during the 2023-24 season. On February 9, 2025, Clark appeared in a 90-second Nike commercial in the 2025 Super Bowl, featuring some of the world's top female athletes. It was Nike's first Super Bowl ad since 1998. Clark speaking at an event for the Caitlin Clark Foundation in 2024. In March 2022, Clark partnered with the Coralville Community Food Pantry in Coralville, Iowa, for a month-long donation push and meet and greet to team up against hunger, encouraging $22 donations from the public as a nod to Clark's jersey number. In the first year of this partnership, they raised over $23,000 for the food pantry. A year later, Clark and the Coralville Community Food Pantry teamed up again, this time raising over $75,000 for the nonprofit in 30 days. As of 2024, Clark has helped raise over $100,000 for Coralville Community Food Pantry, and the nonprofit continues to frequently receive $22 donations. In October 2023, Clark formed the Caitlin Clark Foundation, a nonprofit organization with a mission to uplift and improve the lives of youth and their communities through education, nutrition, and sport. Beneficiaries from the Caitlin Clark Foundation include University of Iowa Children's Hospital, the Coralville Community Food Pantry, the Boys and Girls Clubs within Iowa, and the Iowa East Central Special Olympics chapter. Many of Clark's sponsorship and endorsement deals have included pledges of support, monetary donations, or product donations to the Caitlin Clark Foundation, including Gainbridge, Gatorade, Hy-Vee, State Farm, and Wilson Sporting Goods. In January 2025, on Clark's 23rd birthday, the Caitlin Clark Foundation teamed up with Scholastic and their National Literacy Program, United States of Readers. Additionally, the foundation announced its plan to donate 22,000 books to under-resourced elementary and middle schools in both Iowa and Indiana through the United States of Readers program. In March 2025, the Caitlin Clark Foundation began a partnership with Musco and introduced the foundation's new Community Courts initiative. The foundation announced plans for new Musco mini pitch systems, multi-purpose recreation courts made for sports like soccer, futsal, and basketball, to be installed in 4 middle schools within the Des Moines Public Schools DMPS district. In March 2025, the Caitlin Clark Foundation teamed up with Hy-Vee to raise funds to support childhood nutrition for local food banks across the Midwest via a month-long donation drive. In May 2025, the foundation presented a $300,802 donation to Feeding America at the Food Bank of Iowa from their Roundup campaign. The donation is estimated to provide about 3 million meals to food insecure communities in the Midwest via 18 Feeding America partner food banks. In popular culture, in 2023, the Iowa State Fair displayed a life-size butter sculpture of Clark. On February 22, 2024, the Iowa House of Representatives unanimously passed a resolution declaring February 22nd as Caitlin Clark Day in the state, in reference to her jersey number. In the next month, members of Iowa's federal delegation, including Senators Joni Ernst and Chuck Grassley, and Representative Marionette Miller Meeks, introduced a resolution to recognize Clark for breaking the NCAA Division I scoring record. In 2024, an autographed trading card featuring Clark sold for $78,000, the most ever for a women's basketball card. The record was broken later that year after her card sold for $84,000, the second most expensive card of a female athlete behind tennis player Serena Williams. In February 2024, Clark became the top-selling college athlete on the online sports merchandise retailer Fanatics, surpassing Colorado Buffaloes quarterback Shedeur Sanders. In 2024, Clark was included in the world's 100 most powerful women list by Forbes, becoming the first basketball player and the second athlete in the past 20 years to appear on the list. In the same year, she was included in the Forbes 30 Under 30 list and the Sports Illustrated Power list. Caitlin Clark's journey is just getting started, and she's already changing the game. From record-breaking shots to inspiring young players everywhere, her story shows that hard work really pays off. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more inspiring stories like this. Thanks for watching.